Class is in session. Welcome to Digital Scribeology. My name is Nayim, your professor, your instructor, your coach. Let's talk about lawyers. First question, everybody, usually if you're thinking about lawyers or talking about lawyers, what is a good lawyer? Plain and simply put, a good lawyer is the person who can get you the absolute best deal for whatever situation you're in. And a lot of people don't even know, like, there's not just one type of lawyer for one type of thing. There are lawyers for literally anything you can think of. You got tax lawyers, you got criminal lawyers. Obviously, you know, those are the most popular ones because they make the most money because crime is the highest revenue type of thing for lawyers and shit. You got lawyers for property. You got lawyers for just anything you can think of, contract lawyers and everything. And I really kind of wanted to hone in on one thing that might slip your mind when it comes to picking a lawyer in general. Now, before you even pick a lawyer, you need to make sure you're doing your research. You need to make sure that everything about this lawyer is official. You don't want to get yourself in a situation where you might as well have a public fucking defender who is just there to get you in and out of whatever the fuck you got going on, right? When it comes to this entertainment thing, a lot of people have been conditioned that a lawyer is supposed to be somebody who gets a percentage of everything that you make. And I would absolutely argue 100% against that. Now, this does not count for a situation where you might actually need to have a lawyer on retainer. It doesn't count for a situation where you might actually need to have a lawyer who works at your business to make sure that everything is fucking bugging here. Everything is going how it is supposed to go. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if you have a contract in your hand, somebody shouldn't be getting 5%, 10%, 15%, 7% of everything you earned just to look at that. Because when are they going to be doing any like real work to have earned 10% of $1 million just to go over paperwork? That's not really, like, that doesn't make any sense when you start thinking about the numbers and you start thinking about what the fuck is this person actually out here doing. Most lawyers will charge you $800. Something like, really, if we talking about regular people that's rapping in they city and shit like that, or regular people in general, most lawyers will charge you somewhere between $300 and $1,000 an hour to read contracts, to do shit like that. Think about it like this. If every time a piece of paperwork come across your desk, and a lot of paperwork is like, and especially when you're just getting started. Now, when you get to that level of being so high profile that you actually have to hire lawyers to make sure everything is legally going how it's supposed to go, yeah, like, you might want to have people on retainer. You might want to actually hire motherfuckers. But we talking about just starting out, a regular fucking rapper, everyday person. You've now got to the point where it's time to start doing your contracts. If you're not one of those people who understands, and even if you understand, you still might want to have a legal team go over your contract for you. $300. And let's throw it in the middle. Let's just say a lawyer is charging you $800 to read the contract because it's not going to take that long, and they're going to point out everything and explain it to you and everything. So you might spend, let's just say that takes 2 hours. So if it's $800 for 2 hours, you just pay $1,600 to make sure your legal shit is going great, and legal shit is to wherever you need it to be. The terms of service is where it needs to be. This rental property that you're buying, the mortgage is where it's like, the terms of the mortgage is how it's supposed to be, or a partnership, a brand deal is where it's supposed to be. It's going to cost you $800 an hour. Let's just say 2 hours for something simple like you're getting a mortgage for a commercial building so you can make a studio, something simple. $1,600 versus, hey, I'll take and read your contract for you. Hey, I'll take and do all your legal stuff, but I need 10% of whatever comes through here. And usually lawyers don't take that much. They usually take about 5 to 7% of anything you got coming in. And if you got $1 million, you don't, why the fuck am I about to give you, what's 5% of $1 million? 50,000? Like, why the fuck would I give you $50,000 of $1 million of profit, and you're a lawyer that is supposed to read contracts and shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't even make sense most of the time. Sorry, my nose is itching. That makes no fucking sense for what is going on. But a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't look at it like that, especially with entertainment law. And that's another thing. You're going to need, once you get to a certain thing, you're going to need different lawyers for different things. You might, if you say, I want to get into real estate, you're going to need a tax attorney. You're going to need property attorney. You're going to need attorneys for different things. If you want to get into a restaurant or something else, you need a different attorney. You need people who specialize in law for different areas. Usually when you have a lawyer, a lot of lawyers don't just do, now some lawyers just do one thing if it's the money bringing thing. So you might have a criminal defense attorney who that's all they do, but crimes is always going on. I don't know why the tip of my eye is itching so bad today. Crimes was always happening. So that's why they'll just, I'm sticking to this. But you might have, you might have a situation off to the side, and this is why you would need a different attorney for everything, because you might have a situation where you actually marry and it's time to get a divorce. You wouldn't put a criminal defense, I wouldn't do it, a criminal defense lawyer for my divorce. You're not one size fits all. I need somebody who specializes in relationships and divorce, and like an actual divorce lawyer, somebody who knows about that. You might need your tax lawyer to intervene with that. It's just different type of things. But this was more, this was more talking about paying per hour versus a percentage. Pay per hour. Every single time when you have a lot of different things, you're going to want to have, when you get to a certain point, like superstar level or even local record label with a heavy buzz. Let's just say when you get to, because now, QC back when they started up, you will actually want to have a lawyer that, you always had on call. Our label has our own lawyer who specializes in copyright lawyer, paperwork lawyer, contract lawyer. That makes sense to hire if you actually have a lot going on. But if you just starting out, or you're not at indie level, heaviness level yet, always pay per hour. Always pay per hour. Research them. Everybody that actually has a license for law is able to be researched. You can see what they've done. You can call. You can. A lot of times they do free consultations and shit like that, and they will tell you how much it's gonna be. They would tell you like, hey, if you want me to read this contract, it's gonna cost you $1,500 for me to break this down to you and let you know what's going on in it and make sure everything is okay. And a lot of times, people will go above and beyond and do research and all that stuff. So that's why it's gonna cost you so much. Always pay per hour. Wait to do anything that's got to do with percentages. So this is Digital Scribeology. Today's lesson was about lawyers and how to hire them and how to pay them. I am your professor, your instructor, your coach, Nayim Edwards. Class is dismissed.